for the storm. Things aren't as they were before. You best start bracing. Did you think you could keep us out? Shut the gates, forget us now. Tides are changing. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We the revolution. With the ground beneath your feet, with a whisper in the trees. Do you feel us watching? Hunger in our eyes, victories on our minds. It's our time to rise. Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We the revolution. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change, it's evolution. Voices shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution.
Hey, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday evening. My name is Duchess, and this is where we talk about true crime and missing cases. And sometimes we talk about corruption in law enforcement, and sometimes we talk about crimes against children. We talk about a lot of different issues here on Duchess. But on Sundays, we are dedicated to talking about the missing case of Tyler Doyle and the corruption surrounding that case. This family has not gotten answers. Tyler has not been found. So we are continuing on in the Facebook group and sharing information out on social media to bring attention to Tyler's case and just trying to find the answers. We are discovering the truth. So I want to welcome everyone back for another night to try to dig through some of this information. Thank you all so much for joining me. And of course, my very special guest, Miss AJ, always something. Thank you for being here, AJ.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
So I hope everybody's doing good. I just want to go over to the chat and welcome Lisa to the Advocate. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining the membership. Good to see you, Casey Webb. I hope that you're doing good, and thank you so much. Hey, Donna. I hope you're well. Hey, Michelle, Allie. I just want to say hey to everybody real quick. We got a few things that we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, Kevin, good to see you here. Hey, Racer 74's wife. Just got back from Lakeview today and thought about Tyler while there. Wish he could have been there. Yeah. Probably doesn't seem the same without him being there. Yeah, and don't forget that on my backup channel, Dutchie 2.0, tomorrow night, we are having a Halloween party extravaganza on my backup channel at 8 p.m. We're having a costume contest. If you dress up, you can take the link. You have to show me your face and your costume before you come up. But we are going to have the people in the chat to submit their one vote for their favorite, and that person's going to win a Cash App. We're going to have Halloween trivia and all kinds of fun stuff because we don't get to do a lot of fun stuff. But we try to do something on Halloween. So if you guys want to join us, it's tomorrow night on my backup channel at 8 p.m. So thank you for sharing that. If you want to share that link to my backup channel, Michelle, you can always do that. For anyone who likes to do different stuff than just talk about missing cases, that's where we try to relax, from doing all the stressful work over here. Hey, Camshaft. Hey, Sue. It's good to see y'all. I hope y'all got big plans for Halloween. That's my only plan. And then giving out candy. That's pretty much it. Hey, give me the seaweed. Hey, Tootie Driggers. I hope you're doing good. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Roxy. Archie's had a Halloween party last night, and they had some of the best costumes. It's pretty incredible. Hey, Audrey. Hey, Kayla. Hey, Kat. Hey, Renee. So good to see all of y'all in here tonight. Hey, Cherie. Hey, B. You were sitting in the chat for the November 5th live? Oh, I'm so sorry, darling. I know I did schedule. I put a couple of them up there. Hey, Scott and Melissa Swanee. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Hey, Crystal. God's Amazing Grace with Crystal. We just had a live stream with her the other night about Elena Hembry. And I want to thank everyone that came to that live stream to support Crystal and the case that she's fighting corruption in. Hey, Brandy Molinax. Good to see you. Hey, Camille. Hey, Trev Time. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. Okay, guys, so we're going to dig in. Hey, Birdie. Birdie's Crime Chat. Thank you for being here. Hey, Dynamite. I know you're at work, but I appreciate you listening, darling. I love you so much, and I'm praying for your husband. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Mama Bear. I always like to say hey to everybody because you know what? You guys make this team that we're fighting for Tyler. You guys are so important, and I appreciate it. Hey, Dragon. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Christina. Okay, guys. So there's a few things that I want to talk about. AJ, is there anything that you want to start out with? Talk to us about things that happened this past week in the group. Is there anything that you want to address, that you want to talk about from the group?
Just real quick.
Okay.
If you feel like that Christian Holden didn't do something wrong, that you say that we have said that we feel like that majority of the people have said that they feel like he's done wrong. When you start talking about facts and objective truth and all of that, it all comes down to one thing. If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Like, don't say, oh, well, we're going to pick this out because his number didn't show up on the bill for this reason, when everybody else's call that came after it did, and then get mad and start talking rude to people in the group because they're trying to point that out to you. I mean, unless he's some Houdini that he's that special that, he can make his number not show up. No, I feel like the number didn't show up because he didn't call. But if you don't know if you're not familiar with wireline and all that, don't start arguing with people in the group over it, because I'm definitely familiar with it, and a lot of other people in the group are too. So just keep that stuff somewhere else, because it's not helping anybody with anything. And I'll go for days with you. So it's my fault too. It ain't just one person. It's my fault too, because I have no problem going back and forth. But it's just craziness. Duchess, how long have we had these records? Since what, the 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, so
the jump drive was from July.
No, I'm talking about the phone records, the recent ones.
Oh, the phone records. Yeah, that's the 8th or 9th, right?
So, one thing I know is Shay's not gonna lie. She's not gonna lie to me. She's not gonna lie to Duchess. So if she tells you that something was taken off of her iPad, just because you see a 5G on it, maybe instead of calling her a liar, you stop and think, oh, maybe that she took the screenshot from her iPhone, because I'm sure she has the same iCloud account on both. Like, don't be disrespectful, because I don't. It's not okay. Okay.
I understand. Absolutely. So anything else that happened over in the group? Anything that we need to address with the phone records? Because I feel like we've pretty much reviewed
And we
all
have,
of the
but
records.
we have people that think that they're reviewing them, and they're not going back and they're not listening to me and you on the lives before, because we have addressed them pretty in depth. I mean, we
Yeah,
showed them,
I've had some people email me to ask me some questions. I had somebody to ask me if I could send them the FOIA, and I said, well, the FOIA is available.
and they asked me that too. And here's my thing: had they been paying attention and going back like they told me that they did, a certain person, I don't know exactly who you're referring to, but then they would know that these records didn't come from a FOIA, not these ones. There
Yeah,
was
not the phone records.
Yeah, there was no FOIA involved in these phone records. So don't say that I made them up because I'm not providing a FOIA sheet. Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah, they were actually hand delivered.
Delivered by the detective.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't call him a detective.
You're right.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying,
I
y'all.
hear you. You're
No
right.
disrespect, but and we're going to talk about some of this stuff tonight.
Right.
I want to get up here. This was very interesting, and I don't know if you guys and I do want to. Can I share the shirt on the live
Yes,
that you made?
and we
Because y'all, I want
we
to
have
go
another
ahead
one
and
coming up too that
publicly
looks nice.
announce that I need to order this shirt. You just tell me how much that I owe, and AJ, tell us about this shirt.
Okay, well, you guys know I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't do that. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't place all of that everywhere. I just said what I wanted, and my Fiverr guy from Fiverr did it. But it's everything about Tyler. I mean, it's what's going on with DNR, how they failed. It's everything Tyler stood for. I'm still gonna add the word friend in there for Aiden. Tyler had a lot of friends that weren't blood, but they were his good friends, and they've shown that they really cared about Tyler. So we're going to get the word friend put in there. And then we're going to have justice for Tyler going across the top. And then that's
I love it so much. When you sent this to me, I literally started to cry because this is everything. This is all the words that mean so much in his number. And it couldn't have been done. Whoever created this did an amazing job. So thank you for having someone to create this. Even though you didn't make it, you still made it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
just told him what I wanted, but I didn't know how to put the words. I thought he did a really good job. We also have him doing the justice symbol out of words right now. So there'll be a couple of different designs.
Well, you just let us know when we can order it, because I'm going to definitely need one. I'm still checking on the shirts. I'm getting the designs. There were some designs that I created that I had to send over, and she had to send those out to see if we could get the decal made. And so I'm still waiting for an update from her to hear back from the person who, creates that, so that she can put it on the shirt. So I'm still waiting on that. So as soon as I get that information, I will let you guys know about that. Let me see what else I've got here that I want to share.
Oh, and with every shirt comes your keychain. We just got to get that picture done. So I made keychains, you guys, with Duchess's YouTube channel.
I did not upload that. I still need to send you another picture, but I think the one you used still looks good.
No, because it made the green. It made
it's
subulation, and so it made the black part made it look green, but the picture itself looks good.
It still looks good. I mean, when she showed me that, I was like, oh my gosh, you made my face on a key ring. Like, it was so amazing. So thank you so much for doing that. And I will send you, I'll try to get a different picture so that we
Okay.
can work on that. One of the things that I wanted to talk about also, and we're hoping that Brad Smith may join us on panel again tonight. I did invite him, but I think he is out hunting today. And he said if he made it back in time, he would try to do that. He does have a link to come up on the panel. I don't know if he'll do that or if he'll call. So I'm just waiting to find out, you know, if he's going to be able to make it. But we had a conversation about what kind of equipment would be needed in a search for a sonar, and he was going to talk to us about that, and I was going to show you guys some pictures. So I'm hoping that he will be able to join us. I'm going to give him a little bit of time to see if he's going to be able to text me or come up, because I really want him to discuss how a lot of search and rescue teams use this particular equipment, especially if they're searching for a missing person in the ocean. Maybe there's been a boating accident or something's happened in the water. They were swimming, whatever. But our DNR that operates here on the coastline doesn't have any of this equipment. And I think it's something that you guys need to see, because I feel like that there needs to be some type of funding that needs to go towards people having this equipment. Whether it's DNR, whether it's the Horry County Fire and Rescue. I mean, I feel like all the local agencies that are stationed on the ocean along the East Coast should have something like this accessible. Because why would you not? We live in a tourist area where people drown all the time.
I
Why
just
would you
want
not
to
have
know
something like that?
when the people that are not being paid by government funds have better equipment than you do. Don't y'all think that that's backwards? I mean, that's a little backwards to me. Like, they're supposed to have all the high tech stuff.
All right, let me go back.
I was told that it was worse than a normal fish finder, what they have for sonar.
I don't even know if they can tell like an accurate depth. I mean, I was told it was like ancient. Like, how, if you don't really know the depth of the water, how are you going to be able to see anything?
Why don't they have it is the question. Because let's not get into how they get the 1.6 million a year from that land that they're renting to those monkeys for testing. So let's not act like that there's not the funding there for them to buy the equipment they need.
Yeah.
If it's not, then we got an even bigger problem.
And Camille, you know what I did? I forgot to take that Nightbot queue out for that petition, because that petition has been removed. I think somebody in chat did say, if you don't want to talk about it, it's okay, but we can talk about
we can
replacing
definitely
that
talk about it.
petition and also why it was deleted, and who is Emily exactly besides a used to be mod.
Okay,
Well,
I want to talk about that.
I'm
real
going
quick.
to let AJ discuss all that.
Okay, so here's what happened. I'm going to be really quick, but kind of thorough. So Emily was an amazing mod, actually. She gets into it with somebody else, another admin, and decides to not just leave as admin, but completely leave the group. To me, I felt that was abandonment. That wasn't right. She should have came to me. She didn't. So, okay, that was an issue. And then when she wanted back in the group, at first I said no. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, it was because my feelings were hurt, because I really liked her. So to just bounce on the group like that, I didn't feel that that was right. So anyway, she wanted back in the group and I said no. The second time I said no. The third time I get a phone call that, oh, Emily's in the group under this name. So then you played some sneaky stuff. So I didn't like that at all. But I talked about it. Okay, I'm gonna it's time to let it go. Let it go. So we let her back in the group. But then I found out a whole bunch of other stuff and seen some texts and messages, and I was like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not gonna have that argument back and forth between admins again. That's why you took off and left last time. I'm not putting up with it. So when I made that, I took her out of the group. And when I made the remark that if you're in the group and you don't go sign the petition, then you're probably going to be taken out of the group. Yeah, I did. And I had made that same statement a long time ago, and she was all okay with it. But this time she used that as an excuse to say that that's why she ended the petition, because we were forcing people to sign them. The problem with that is there was two petitions. One was never in my group. So she ended that one too. And if you go do some petty stuff like that on something as serious as this, then do you, because I don't need it. And the case don't need it either. That's it. And we're going to make another one.
Self-explanatory. Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Hey, Landon. I'm glad to see you here. I hope you're doing good. I got a message and I was just checking that. Hope you're doing good, Landon. Thanks so much for joining us. Okay, so thank you for answering that. Michelle's had to send me that question because I could not find it in the chat. It must have been way back up on the chat. But Crystal, thank you for your question. And thank you, AJ, for addressing that. Hey, Toaster Oven. It's good to see you. So we'll just put the petition back up. We'll just make another petition.
Another one, absolutely. And
Okay.
and another thing is, petitions are supposed to be requesting exactly what you want and how having that is going to better. It can't really be vague. So we're going to make sure that it's written right, and probably use AI software and bots to do it, but it'll be worded correctly. We'll have it back up again. We don't stop, you guys. Just because one person does something, we're a whole team. We got people from other countries back in this family. We don't stop.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you try to just block the path, we'll just make another path.
Yeah, if you can't find a door, find a window. That's just how it goes.
Exactly. Now, last time that we had the live stream, we had some information we were talking about, and we did not get an opportunity to listen to the call again from Danny Jewell. I had some requests for people that wanted to listen to that call. So I'm not going to focus on talking about Brad's information, and we'll give him a chance to see if he's going to come up so he can, talk to us about all of the equipment and stuff like that, because it may be a little bit later. He may not be home and he may be exhausted. He may not come up. So,
and if you haven't heard the call from Danny Jewell, stick around, because you're going to learn a thing or two about what really happened.
Right. And these are the calls and things that are so important that we want Governor McMaster to hear. We want Mark Keel with SLED to hear. We want
how long has he been around there? Duchess? How long has Danny Jewell been around there?
Do what now?
How long has Danny Jewell been a member of that community around there?
Well, his family's been here probably for a few generations. I mean, he's
like fourth or fifth generation fisherman. They were doing shrimp boats. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So he's got some roots there in that community.
Yes. There's his family restaurant is Hurricane Jules, which is down off of Mineola Avenue, right on the waterfront where the casino boat is. That's where his family restaurant is, and they have some really good eating there. I highly recommend it if you ever come down to Little River, South Carolina, that you go to Mineola, because that's where Crab Catchers, Hurricane Jules, Key West Crazy, Patios, that's where all the good restaurants are, and they have fresh seafood. So, this phone call is really important. And the Seaweed says, my ancestors are from the same area, the Randall, Vereen's. Oh, yeah, because Vereen Gardens is, right there. And that's where I walk my dog all the time. It's a beautiful place there. Lots of Vereens and Randalls in this area. Yeah. So let's take a listen to this phone call, because I feel like you guys need to hear this. So I'm going to share my screen. I have this on my membership. This is a recording that I have specifically. I have recordings in different videos that are exclusively for members, but I have played this on a live stream before. So we are going to listen to that phone call now. better if I record this conversation that we've had and you know, if I need to refer back to it, because you've given me a lot of good information here.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
I know where there's a big deep hole. I know where if a body was going to be pushed into an area, naturally it's going to go into the deeper hole. The current's going to push it there, and pretty much chances are real good that that's where it's going to stay, in that deep hole, because the current's not going to push it back up the other side.
Right.
But
So my question to you is this: is every week, a couple times a week, we have a live stream that family has come on there. You know, his dad has come on and spoke to the public, and Miss Linda and Miss Shay, they have spoken on my live streams. You know, these live streams that we have is for the family, for them to be able to have a voice, you know, to say what they believe that there has been misconduct in this investigation involving them. And so the reason I'm asking is because tonight I'm having a live stream. Okay. And it's going to start at 7:30. And we're usually on there a couple of hours. But I wanted to invite you, if you would like to either call me on my phone, or you can come up on the panel, and I would like for you to tell your story. Because a lot of people know your story just by word of mouth. But Danny, you were treated unfairly, and you are a staple in this community. Your family is a staple in this community. And I wanted you to be able to tell your story, and I just wanted to know if you would be willing to do that. I don't want to make you do anything, but
no. I would have no problem with it. What was the exact date of that incident when it happened?
January the 26th.
Okay, see, let me explain something to you why I was so dead ahead on wanting to help as much as I was. I mean, I wanted to help regardless, but my son was 21 years old, and he passed away on January the 7th.
I'm so sorry.
It was just so fresh in my mind, and luckily enough, I found my son in my house, and so I had closure. But with that being that fresh in my mind, that's all I could think was, how could you tell these people that, you know, that you can't, that I can't drag a net? I mean, how can you tell me that when I know the feeling what it is to lose one? And it had only been a couple weeks before.
Right.
So that reasoning being is more reason why I wanted to make it happen. I said, you know, hey, when I heard about it, I dropped everything I was doing, and I just said, look, I started loading my net. I got my mate to go with me. I said, look, we got to get this net on the boat. We got to go help this family. It's going to get dark, and every minute that body's in the water, like I said, it's going to be bad things happening to it. And like I said, I already know for a fact that, I mean, I've been around the docks all my life. I've known of 3 people to drown off a boat sitting right there at the dock and slipped and fell in the water. And they found all of those people within 6 feet of where they went overboard. They went straight to the bottom like a rock. And I just really feel like that with that shrimp net, the way I got it set up with the doors, with the chain on the bottom, the net drags the bottom. It's got a 40-foot spread. I got a mongoose, what they call a mongoose net. It's a white shrimp net. Mm-hmm. It's got a big float in the middle. I cover a big area, and I got a plotter on my boat that would absolutely cover. There would not be 1 inch in that inlet that I could not cover, because it's like sowing a soybean field with a combine. With these GPS units now, you literally can you can overturn every little pebble in there. But like I said, with that being said, that was one of the reasons for me being so strong about it was I had just lost my son, and I knew what it felt like, but to be able to be told no, that you cannot. And the thing that gets me more than anything that was was like I said, excuse my language, but a bullshit reason answer to tell me the reason why I couldn't was because of shrimp season being closed. I mean, you could have told me a lot of different things. Maybe that story that Ronnie Floyd had, maybe you would have upset the investigation if you did find it or whatever. But to tell me I couldn't do it because shrimp season was frozen, you're talking about a human, a person, somebody's family member. I mean, it was just totally wrong.
Can I ask you a question? I heard a rumor that they had threatened that if you went ahead and dropped your nets, that
Yeah.
they would take your fishing license away and fine you.
They would have. They would have treated me just like I was shrimping in closed waters. They could actually take my boat. Yeah. And because you know
Wow.
what, I came real close to doing it anyway. And I told my mate, I said, you know what, I really feel like that I should just say, screw y'all, and I'm going to do it anyway. And then we'll just let the judge or the whoever, because if I do find it, I'm gonna promise you that somebody, I feel like I would have got out of it.
The family would have compensated you for your fines. I feel
Sure,
I know
that.
they
I
would have.
know,
She
but
told me.
at the same time, I'm going. It was such a close situation.
Do you want
That
to
I
take
was
a
already so upset about my son being only dead 2 weeks at that time, and I still struggle with that and always will. But
I'm so sorry.
but I mean, very, very, very. I lost all respect for DNR, whoever, higher ups, whatever, whoever sat behind a desk somewhere, and they could actually say the reasoning was the shrimp because, and then I even told them, I said, listen, I don't have my tail bag tied closed. I've got it open. I'm not an idiot. I will promise you, it will not even catch shrimp. I'm not dragging for shrimp. I'm dragging for a person. I know how to tie my net, so it will let everything escape out except for a body. And I said I've got it tied like that. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm you know, I mean, I've been in the ocean 42 years doing netting, long line, you know, just every kind of fishing, currents, dealing with currents and tides, and it was like that. I hate to say it, but it was almost like they just didn't really care. They didn't care if they found it or not. I mean, to be honest, and I didn't know if they just didn't want to get involved. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really, but it was just a very bone chilling answer to me with people. You know, with them. We all knew that chances of him making it were real slim in the conditions that he was in, you know, and the water being cold and all that, and the roughness of the ocean and the tide going out. Not with a 40-foot boat, but when your body's in there, it's a total different world. I've been in the water. I mean, I've had to be helicoptered off boats before and offshore, 100 miles offshore, and
almost drowned in the inlet in 2002, and Sunset Beach Fire Department actually rescued me. I was in the water 7 hours in February of 2002
really?
and made the front page of the Brunswick Beacon.
Well, you were very lucky.
I was very lucky.
You were unlucky, but you're very lucky.
It was, you know, if it hadn't have been for somebody getting a life jacket around me when they found me, I was unconscious. They had to put me into a coma in the hospital because I was having seizures so bad. I was in shock, you know, from being in that water, and I had fish bites all over my body.
Sure.
And I tell people all the time, I'm like, you don't know what it's like. You can say that people are a strong swimmer and things like that, but when you're
not when you're in that outgoing tide, and it was outgoing whenever
that current is so strong. Listen, I'm a good swimmer, but I remember trying to fight that current, and it was taking me. There's no way I could have fought it. I mean, it was just exhausting.
That, you have the current running one way and the wind coming another, so those waves are like steep. They're standing up. So you're trying to swim, but you're also swallowing mouthful of water rapidly. You can't help it because the waves are breaking over your head. And, you know, we all would like to think we're experienced and this, that, and the other, but you can only stand a certain amount of that before you run physically out of energy.
Exactly.
And you know that as well as anybody. And
it's a scary situation.
Yeah, it is, and it really just, you know, and I am going to bring this up again because because Ronnie Floyd, who has always been a dear friend of mine, I got his number in my phone. I can call Ronnie if there was ever a question, because half those DNR agents, I get boarded all the time, and they get these new guys, and they want to ask me what kind of fish is in my box. Like, what is that right there? I said, let me explain something to you. If I've got to tell you what kind of fish that is so you can write me a ticket, you're in a bad way. I said, because you're supposedly taxpayers, you have gone to school and learned to be a DNR agent, and you're going to tell me you don't know what kind of fish that is? I mean,
I wonder what their
you know,
training actually is, though, because I've discovered that some of these DNR officers, like, they might have a college degree as a PE teacher, because, that's what Ronnie Floyd was before he became a DNR officer. But I don't know that they take basic law enforcement training or any other type of training to know those things, do they?
But I'm going to tell you, in the situation with Ronnie Floyd, Kevin Perdue, there was two of them for sure that were on their last year of retirement.
They told me at the boat landing to my face that they were just, all they talked about was how they were looking towards retirement. Now,
they were just riding it out, and they didn't really want to get in a heavy investigation into something that was going to drag out and be long term, because it would probably go on past their retirement. They were both ready to jump off the bus, and therefore, I don't think that they really wanted to put their nose or get involved in it as well as what they should have. And I don't mind saying that, because that's the feeling I got.
Well, with Brad and that SD card, I sent a FOIA request to Caroline Pinckney. She's over the FOIA request, and they did not send me those sonar pictures. So I went to ask, and she said she was going to ask Ronnie Floyd if he had those pictures. And I said, if he can't share them, I just need to know a reason why, like, because that's just, they're not going to share them, or that he doesn't have them. And she said, let me ask him. She said he was searching his files. Then she emailed me back, and she let me know that Ronnie Floyd said that he did not have any photographs that was obtained from Wings of Hope. And that really upset Brad, because he said, I handed him the SD card. Well, I had another person who made a phone call to someone that is Ronnie Floyd's superior, that's above Godon's, and he actually said he remembered seeing the pictures. And I'm like, okay, somebody is lying. And that is why the family is wanting to go forward. They have an attorney, and they're trying to get DNR removed off this case so that it can possibly be, because the family is thinking about, going against Ronnie Floyd and for misconduct, because he did not handle this investigation appropriately. They didn't search. The things they did to you, that was inappropriate. You are an upstanding citizen in this community and respected, and that was I was very angry, Danny, when I found out what had happened.
More than I was when I was told that. I've had my captain's license since I was 18 years old. I mean, my dad ran head boats, the hurricane fleet he started. And when I was 6, 7 years old, I was on the deck cutting bait, cleaning fish, and I always looked up in the wheelhouse of my dad up there. And I always said, that's where I want to be. I want to be up there in that wheelhouse. And that 2 weeks after I turned 18, I was the youngest person to ever have a 100-ton master's license right here on the East Coast. I mean, I was like, that's what my goal was, and I made it happen. And I was running an 85-foot head boat for my dad when I was 18. And people go, no way. And I'm like, yeah, way. I definitely was. I've been doing it ever since. So see, that's one thing. And I expressed the fact that when I got down there, and all the blue lights were everywhere, and every one of them were doing nothing. They had 3 officers in one boat, 2 in one, and there was 2 or 3 DNR boats, and they were just idling around in a circle. And I got right on the radio, because like I said, I know 90% of them. And I said, hey man, I just want to, get up here, kind of in the middle of the jetties, and I'm going to throw my net over and start dragging and see if I can't give you guys a hand in recovering this body. And it was like, no, you just stand by. We don't need you to do that right now. We're going to do some checking. And like I said, quite a while went by, and actually probably 30 to 45 minutes. And I called them back, and because the sun was starting to go down, and I'm like, man, and the seeing thing about me was if the sun did go down, it didn't matter because I could drag at night. I mean, I could have kept dragging until I wouldn't have quit until I found him. I mean, I really think I could have found him, and I've got all the gear on my boat, and I've got the knowledge to drag at night, to be in that inlet at night. I know it like it's like my driveway in my house. I've been in and out of that inlet as much as I have my driveway. And it's just for them to tell me no was just like I mean, I literally felt like somebody just stuck a knife in me or something. I'm like, are you kidding me? What do you mean no? And they go, well, I said, what is your reason for telling me no? and like I said, they lied to me. They told me they had a diver down. And I said, okay, I'm gonna get that. If you got a diver down, I get you don't want me dragging right there by you. So what I'm going to recommend is I'm going to go offshore to the sea buoy because the tide was falling, and I feel like the body would have been on offshore anyway. They were right at the jetties where he where he went in the water, where the boat sank, and that's where they just kept circling around right there. Well, that's all well and good, I said, and they didn't. Their excuse was, we don't want you dragging a net where we're diving. I said, okay, I understand that. I will go to the sea buoy and start making drags, and I will work my way into you, and not to crowd you, but by that time, either we'll find him or y'all will, we'll have at least we're doing something.
You're narrowing it down.
Exactly, and I'm not scratching my tail here, just looking at you with my boat sitting here, my net's ready. All we got to do is throw it in the water, go, and then come to find out after the fact. I was told by one of, I forget who it was, but they said, Danny, they never had a diver down. I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, they told me that I couldn't do it. The first time they told me because I couldn't do it because they had a diver down. Then the next time I talked to them, it was because shrimp season's close. And I'm like, the shrimp season thing just flew all over me. I'm like, there's a lot of things that you should tell me, but because of a dadburn shrimp, I can't drag for this body. And I was wrong.
Danny, could they not have put a South Carolina DNR officer on the boat with you so they could double check to make sure?
I asked them to. I quote unquote, I said, if that seems to be your problem, you're so concerned about a shrimp, and I'm telling you, I got my tail bag tied where it will not even catch a shrimp. It won't let one stay in the net. It's going to let it go through it. But bring an agent over here and put them on my boat. Put two of them on here. I don't care. You can put everybody you want. I don't want no shrimp. I promise you, I'm not here to shrimp. I'm here to help these people. And no, they wouldn't do it.
That is just, that breaks my heart. And I'm very sorry for the loss of your son. I know that's probably been very difficult for you, but I have so much respect for you, Danny. For being so kind and your willingness to go out there and search for Tyler. And I was so hurt to know how you were treated. And so is the Doyle family. They think so much of you. And I told Shay that I would give you a call and ask you if you would be willing to come forward. Brad has spoken out. Brad has actually contacted the DNR and sent them a formal request that he wants his SD card returned because Ronnie Floyd basically called Brad a liar and said that he didn't get any pictures. And Brad said, I handed that to him face to face from my hand to his hand. He said, he's lying. Right. And I said, well, Brad, he's speaking about your character, not only your personal character, but that's defamation against the character of your team and your business. And I said, sometimes it's hard to stand up for what's right. And he said, well, I heard about the Danny Jewel situation. And he said, that really bothers me. And I said, I really want to get in touch with Danny Jewel. I said, he don't know me, but I live not far from where he is. So I thought, well, I'll just take a chance and give you a call because I told the family that I would reach out to ask if you would be willing to just, are you available tonight?
Actually, I'll tell you what I got to do. I've got to do a funeral for a friend. I got to take some ashes out at 5:30. Out in the ocean.
Okay.
And I would be glad if you can give anybody my phone number. I have no problem discussing anything. What I've discussed with you is straight up the truth. I don't have any reason to lie about nothing.
The live stream will start about 7:30, and we're usually on there till about 10:30 or 11. So
Right.
if you want to just call me on the phone, you know, whenever you get back, if you are free and you want to come up and share your story with everybody, we usually have 200 or 300 people
Really?
in there, and the family is always there. In fact, one of the family members is going to be on panel, Miss Marie. She actually was there with Shay when they found the waiters. She was on the boat when they found Tyler's waiters. She's one of the cousins, and she has been up there sharing her story and thoughts about the DNR and things of that nature. And she's going to be up there tonight. Shay is going to be listening. She told me that she would not be able to come on panel, but she would be there listening. And it would mean so much to them if you were able to come by and share your story with us. It would mean so very much
I
to
will
me.
definitely do everything I can, and I'm gonna save your number.
Please
And,
do. Please do. You
I
can call
will.
me
And
anytime.
yeah, and if I do not get involved on this one or can't get in time for this one, possibly you can just, you can play my conversation. You can do whatever.
Okay.
But I will
Thank
definitely be involved in the future. And if there's anything that y'all need me for in any kind of way, just let me know.
God bless you. Thank you so very much. And I just appreciate you taking the time. And I wish you well on your future endeavors. And if there's any information in the future that you want to share with me, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay.
Okay. I hope you have a great day.
Take care.
Okay.
It's been great talking to you.
Thank you, Danny.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
And there it is there. Yep.
Not a replay, Misty, because see, Misty was here. She remembers when we played it. But some people didn't get to see that one. So I did make a promise that I would let you guys hear that phone call. And I just pray that somebody is listening, because Danny Jewel keeps it 100. Okay. And y'all heard how passionate he was about this situation. I mean, very passionate. Oh, AJ dropped. She might have lost her internet. Y'all, there's a coronal mass ejection coming off the sun that's going to hit us tonight early this morning, and it's interfering in Wi-Fi and internet all over the United States right now and across the world. So hopefully she'll be able to get back. Brad did call me while I was playing the video, and I told him to call me back in 15 minutes. So hopefully he's going to call me back. He said he would come on panel, but he's actually driving and he doesn't have any internet reception to be able to do that. So he'd have to call me on the phone. But I do hope that listening to that phone call helps people to have an understanding that this isn't just something that the family came up with, that they didn't think that Ronnie Floyd did the most exemplary investigation to help find Tyler. There are several aspects to this situation as a whole. You know, you have the Brad situation, you have the Danny Jewel situation, you have the search and rescue situation, you have Tyler on the South Jetty situation. So while we're waiting for Brad to call back, which should be any minute now, my intention was that once we listened to the Danny Jewel call and you guys got to hear all of this, and I was reading all of your comments the entire time. And I want to thank everybody that just came in to the live stream. Thank you so much for joining us and for being here to support justice for Tyler Doyle. Don't forget to crush the like button and share this video, because we need more people to see this information more people in South Carolina to open their eyes to what's going on, because we need more people to get on board with this fight. Because if we're fighting for Tyler, that means we're fighting for all citizens in the state of South Carolina. And this could happen in your state. If you're not in South Carolina, you might be in North Carolina. You might be in Georgia. You might be in a state and know about a missing case where there seems to be a situation with law enforcement agencies who don't want to do their job or take their job seriously or follow the protocols or is part of the good old boy system. Because it's not just here in South Carolina, guys. When I think about some of these cases, I even tagged a couple of creators in my live stream when I shared it on YouTube, because these creators actually cover cases in which there's corruption going on there. There's a missing little girl in Tennessee. Her name is Summer Wells, and she's a 5-year-old little girl. And it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years and 4 months. And it's a crazy case. And I'm going to tell you what, there's another Ronnie involved in that case, the head of the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. And I just feel like they're not doing everything that they could be doing. But I tell you what, they had EquiSearch out there searching for her. But you know what? They ran into all kinds of problems. It's people call the TBI and all of them all the time. It's just like in this case. It's happening in every state. I just happen to see it a lot in South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. That's my 3 main focus areas where I see a lot of this good old boy system that's happening. It's in the South, you know. And Danny has a good heart, y'all. He really does. He just wanted to bring this family peace because he just lost his own son. And you heard him say, like, I had closure, like I found my son. And he felt like that was by helping someone else, it was going to help him get through what he was going through. And they'd even denied him that. It just makes me so irritated. Well, I'm going to try to find out what happened with AJ. Let me just check on her because I want to make sure she's okay. Y'all give me a minute. All right, I'll send her a message. We'll see. So that leads me into something that I was going to talk about because Brad hadn't called yet. Here's I speak, and there he is. Hang on, guys. Well, hello.
Hey, Miss Duchess.
I was just saying, Brad's going to call back any minute, and then, then you called.
Must be an ESPN thing.
It must be. It must be. Thank you so much for calling in. I told everybody that I had asked you to possibly come up on panel or to call in because I wanted to talk to them about, we had this conversation. We had just listened to Danny Jewell's phone call, and I played that before, and you know, you and I have talked about what they did to Danny Jewell. Do you want to share your thoughts on what you know, what you were feeling when you heard what they did to Danny?
Is AJ here too?
Well, AJ was, but she just dropped. I don't know if she lost internet, so I was waiting for her to come back. So
yeah, I can touch bases on everything, I guess.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. I just thought, we might talk about that. I wanted you to talk about this sonar that you were telling me about too, because I feel like we might get ourselves a little bit of education about, because I don't understand, if you have the ability to have access to these things to better search for people, why would they not want to use that?
I guess the whole knowledge. I don't know if they're keeping up with their knowledge of things or not. I mean, if you don't keep up with the technology, you get left behind. A lot of this technology is starting to come out here in the last year. Technology is a lot of hand-based sonars for dive teams, search and rescue teams, also for lifeguards. We just got into having our own handheld unit, and it's was furnished to us by AQUAEYE. It's been out there for a while. It was made over in Australia. They had a lot of drownings over there, so it's based a lot of for ocean searches. Not so much for fresh water, but they're trying to adapt it to freshwater searches, like for us. So.
Okay, so the first, I've got it pulled up on my computer screen so that everyone that's in the chat, we've got 128 people listening right now. You guys show Brad some love in the chat right now. He might go back and watch this live stream to see all the nice things that y'all say. So he sent me a couple of links, and the first one that I'm showing right now, it's Marine Sonic Technology, and I'm on their website, and it's kind of taking me through this torpedo looking device right here. It looks like they're pulling it either alongside, and then they have another one that looks like it's, off the back, like it's. Talk to us about what this device actually is.
So a towfish system is a operated system that you tow behind a boat or in front of a boat. It looks like a torpedo. It gives you a more in-depth 3D imaging of what's on the bottom. A lot of search and rescue groups use it, utilize it. It's been around for many years. The U.S. Army and Navy kind of developed it for minesweeping in the ocean, stuff like that. Basically, what it starts out as, it's kind of like echolocation, based off sound waves and radio waves. Average, say, hall-mounted sonar is, I think, up to 1,400 hertz. This can go all the way up to 3,000 to 12,000 hertz.
Wow.
So it's painting a more in-depth picture in great detail what's on the bottom. They're utilized quite a bit in ocean searches just because you have a lot more vast area and you can cover a lot more vast area with them. So the technology is amazing. A little expensive, but well worth it. But I mean, when you're covering an area of the ocean, and you can, you sweep out, 200 feet on each side, so you're covering a 400-foot swath area, and it gives you great detail.
Yeah, we're watching this little, it kind of gives us this little information demo video of what that looks like in the water. There looks like there was a small skinny one. There's a big yellow one. It shows them dragging it behind. That Explorer MK2, I think, is the big yellow one. I see there's like a smaller one that looks gray, and it shows, they've got the sonar on the computer. This guy's dragging it. One guy had it beside. I mean, it seems like that would be a critical piece of equipment that you would want to have, especially if you're with the Department of Natural Resources. We have a lot of people that go missing in the water. I mean, there's boating accidents all the time. If somebody gets out there and they're going to be swept away, this seems like the technology, and technology is always changing. So why would they not want to utilize something like this?
I honestly can't answer that for DNR. I know, a lot of departments utilize it across the board. Sheriff departments, DNR, FBI. This technology has been around for many, many years, and it's just improved over the years. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a vital piece of equipment in any search platform, especially nowadays. So when, I mean, you're covering the ocean, especially, and it would definitely be a great piece to have. You're cutting down your search area of where with a boat, you're usually like a hull mounted boat sonar, you're only doing maybe 20 feet on both sides to 40 feet. Now you're going out 200 feet on both sides. So you're covering, you know, a very vast area pretty quickly. And when time is the essence, and especially cold water drownings, you can cover an area really quick.
Yeah, and it looks like this other link that you shared with me, the AQUAEYE, which is the first mobile search and rescue sonar with artificial intelligence. This is really interesting. I mean, this is a handheld advanced sonar underwater scanner. And it uses artificial intelligence to identify human bodies underwater with poor visibility.
Been working with AQUAEYE
To identify human bodies underwater with
about 5 years off and on now, just trying to help them better this equipment, trying to get it over to the United States and stuff like that, and search and rescue operators' hands. Just, I mean, especially for like the lifeguards, DNR, search and rescue. I mean, this piece of equipment you can put on a boat right away, like setting up the dogs or the tollfish, and you can like quickly. And it has an algorithm in it, and it picks up on human flesh and somehow does a mathematical reading, and it picks it up and actually gives you search.
That is incredible. I mean, I had no idea that this even existed. And it's just this little, I mean, this thing, you can just, it looks so lightweight. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think it weighs up a pound. It's very light. They just made a new sensor unit in it for fresh water that we're trying out. Also with a stick pulley system where we can actually utilize it underneath the ice up in our area. We get a lot of ice drownings and stuff like that. So it's a great company to work with. Got great feedback with them. They actually listen to search and rescue groups, firefighters, and all that about what we need and what works and what doesn't work. And they're trying to get it into everyone's hands. I mean, they're very cost effective. They're at cost. They're like $4,000 to $5,000 for a handheld sonar compared to a tollfish that is like $80,000. So.
And see, guys, they could, this picture I'm showing right now on the screen, Brad, which I know you can't see, but I'm showing the AQUAEYE, and they've actually got on the handle, they've got this, they've got a pole attached to it, I guess. So like, and it's in the snow. So I'm assuming so you can put it down under the ice.
Yep, correct. Yep. So we do a lot of cold water drownings up in our area, and it's great. I mean, you have to drill holes and be able to find person, you know, with an underwater camera. This kind of utilizes sonar a lot quicker, and we've had good feedback, good success with it and everything. So, but it's, you know, it's a work in progress. It was for the last 5 years, but it's getting a lot better. But it's a lot better than nothing.
That is incredible. I was just, there's like all of these pictures that they have, you know, of different fire and rescue people that are like utilizing this device. I can't believe that I want to know why the South Carolina DNR isn't utilizing this.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know that they reach out to a lot of organizations, especially ocean-based organizations, because that's what it was first made and utilized for over in Australia, and they've had great success with it.
Yeah, here's a picture of Hungary. There's a rescue unit in Hungary, and it shows, you know, them utilizing this like in other countries.
Yeah, it's used all over the world.
I mean, listen, we've got to get on board. We've got to get on board. We need to be pressing for law enforcement agencies that are searching for missing people. And if you live on the East Coast, I feel like the search and rescue teams that live along these coastal cities, this should be a standard.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you totally. I mean, just what it brings to a search and rescue group or even lifeguard. I mean, you put it in anyone's hand and make a sweep, and it's pretty easy to use. I mean, it's not a bunch of where you gotta dial it in or pull the trigger and make a sweep and let go, and it gives you an X of where the high probability of a person is.
I think I saw somebody that said hey to you in chat. I think their husband knows you. And I was just looking to see who that was. Because I saw it on my phone, but I was sharing my screen and I couldn't actually put it up on the screen. I want to say it was Misty. Misty, where are you, Misty? If you're still listening, there it is, Misty Martin. She says, my husband said hi to Brad. He's a good guy. So I said, okay. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he knows him. So I just wanted to make sure I told you that. And everybody is so grateful for you being here. I mean, I'm looking at all these wonderful comments. Alpaca Maid says, please ask Brad if there is a lease option for one-off uses or outright purchases. How does it work?
So, Bill, I don't remember the gentleman's last name, but I can get it to you guys. We deal with Bill, and he's actually the designer of the AQUAEYE. There is a actual lease option they have, but what's great about this lease option is that after, say, 4 years, when the technology's used up or burnt, say the equipment's kind of used and burnt up, they'll actually give you a brand new one. They want to keep this technology up to date in the user's hands. You pay at say you pay the $4,000 upright or outright. That covers for any modifications or new data or any updates to the machine. So this company is not out to make millions. They're literally out to help families find their loved ones, help search and rescue groups aid in the search a lot quicker.
Well, this sounds like more of a reason why South Carolina DNR and law enforcement or fire and rescue needs to be investing in something. I mean, if the county bought it, then couldn't the county share the resource? I mean,
yeah,
I want to know why this isn't a thing. Should we make a petition to have, to say, hey, we want these people to make this purchase for the safety of our citizens and for the tourists that are coming down here. I want to know when I'm going on vacation somewhere that if something happens to my family, that I'm going to have one of the best places that has a great law enforcement agency and a search and rescue team and whatever I have to have. I don't want to go on vacation and be like, well, they didn't even help find my child. Or, I mean, can you imagine?
Every parent's nightmare to go through something like this, and they don't realize. We all feel like, oh, this isn't going to happen to us. This isn't going to happen to us. Then it does happen to us, and we're lost. And the people that we look to for this, for guidance and help, don't have the equipment or the training or the technology because just they're not keeping up with it.
Yeah. And I'm going to share my screen again, Brad, because I want to, just knowing that these instruments, these important pieces of equipment are available. Listen, if search and rescue didn't know what they were doing, would they invest in such expensive pieces of equipment to find people? You know why they do that, y'all? Is because they're actually going to look for the people. Unlike you know why law enforcement doesn't own that type of equipment? because they're not that invested. they're not that invested in what they're doing. I'm going to share my screen because I wish AJ would come back. She may not have internet, guys. I was on a live stream today, and I had a lot of people saying that their internet was going out. The people in the UK couldn't even watch a live stream because it was blank. I don't know what's going on, y'all, but prepare for anything because who knows what's happening. The world's on fire. Hey, Cotton Candy Boobs, thank you so much for being here, darling. I appreciate you. I adore you too. I adore you too. So listen, I want to tell y'all something. I've been, listen, every night I lay in bed and I just reel over all this information and how I really just want to invite Governor McMaster for coffee. He doesn't know me, but I do have people that are reaching out to him, and it's a waiting game, guys. There may be times when we don't really have anything to report on. So you guys are going to have to really bear with me. Okay. But what I'm looking at now, Brad, is I am on a website for South Carolina GOV. And this is for the South Carolina Department of Public Safety. And what I decided to do was I was talking to another friend that also works in law enforcement, and but not in this state. And we were just having just a little conversation. I was asking some questions, and I said, when they have the code of ethics for the state, like say it was for the South Carolina Department of Public Safety, he said, well, that's all of that's a law enforcement agency, and really these code of ethics should stand for all law enforcement agents in the state of South Carolina, because even if they're DNR, they're still a part of the Department of Public Safety, I mean, if you think about it, because they're law enforcement. And so I don't know, after a few things we spoke about, which wasn't just about this case, it was about some other things, but in other cases, because when I have general questions just about how to proceed about things, I always give him a call. And so I went to this website after our conversation, and it just talks about the code of ethics. And, it says, as a public employee, I believe public service is an honorable profession dedicated to bettering the lives of those I serve and requiring at all times that the public interest be placed above any personal concern. As a public employee, I believe that I should demonstrate the highest standards of personal integrity, truthfulness, honesty, courtesy, and fortitude in all my public activities in order to inspire public confidence and trust in public institutions. I will confront and challenge any unethical behavior by my fellow employees and report such behavior to the appropriate supervisor. The public's opinion about the courtesy, honesty, truthfulness, and personal integrity of public officials and public employees is the premier value sought by citizens. Any individual or collective compromise with respect to these character traits can damage the ability of an agency to perform its task or accomplish its mission. Therefore, I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions, nor will I tolerate such behavior by my fellow employees. I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately without fear, favor, malice, or ill will. As a public employee, I will oppose any discrimination because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, political affiliation, physical handicaps, age, or marital status in all aspects of personal policy. I pledge to serve the public with respect, concern, courtesy, and responsiveness, recognizing that service to the public is beyond service to oneself. And that is the statement on the About Us page. Put a 1 in the chat, okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that Ronnie Floyd took this pledge. Put a 2 in the chat if you think he don't even know this exists.
Well, I'm pushing 2 like that right now.
Put a 1 if you think Ronnie, well, maybe Ronnie has read it, but maybe he forgot what it said. Because I'm having a really, really, really difficult time right now believing that he understands what the code of ethics is, because he has broken quite a few of these. And I'm going to make sure that I point that out to Governor McMaster and anybody else in the legislative office of South Carolina that will listen to me. Do y'all hear me? Because I feel like that this is I mean, it's self-explanatory. I wish AJ were here right now. And I have a feeling the only reason she's not is because she doesn't have internet, because she has not responded to my message at all. So she must not have internet. And she may have had to go. Something may have occurred, but I'm sure she'll text me. And I'll make sure, you know, that she's good. There's a lot of twos. Let me go over here to my phone. Brad, is there anything else you want to share with us? Thank you for telling us about this sonar. Like this sonar is incredible. I just feel like there's a lot of lack in some of these areas in these departments. And are all departments bad? No. Are all law enforcement officers bad? Absolutely not. I know some excellent law enforcement officers in this county and in other counties around South Carolina and in other states. I'm friends with several of them. But like it said in this one part, though, there was this one part, you know, that all of these things matter: the courtesy, the honesty, the truthfulness, the integrity, you know, and then it talks about that you're not going to act in a certain way and you're not going to allow friendships and animosities to influence your decision, and that you're not going to tolerate that from fellow employees, you know, and that you're also going to report such behavior to the appropriate supervisor. If you're out there listening and you know what has happened and you're in a position of power and you know what was done in this case, it is your civil duty to go forward and say that you know that how this case was handled was inappropriate. Because we've laid out the facts. I don't have to make it up. Sorry, y'all. I feel a little emotional right now. But I mean, you know, it bothered me really bad because when I read that, I got really angry. And I'm sorry that I'm still angry when I read it for the 5th time, which just happened to be the first time on this live for y'all. There's something wrong. Is the system broken, y'all? Donna says, go get them, Duchess. I mean, I'm just a tax-paying citizen, and I want to know that not just that my family can be protected, but I want to know that if something happens and I need to call Brad because I need his help, that they're not going to thwart the plan because they don't want to deal with Brad because he had to do the hard thing and come forward because he has integrity, because he has good moral character, and say the hard thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's cut from that cloth, y'all. Not everybody is. I'm sorry. There's people that are not willing to do the right thing because greed. I don't know what their particular reason is, but I feel like that money always plays a part in it somehow for a lot of situations. I don't know what the motive is here, but it's either there's a motive or it's laziness. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know your thoughts in the chat, Brad. Anything else you want to add?
No, my whole feeling is, you know, with dealing with AQUAEYE is that this is such a affordable piece of equipment. Why not have it in, you know, beach patrols, vehicles, lifeguard towers? I mean, it's $4,000 or $5,000. They spend $100,000 on their boats that are worthless. I mean, look how many units you could put into public safety's hands and save people's life. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me that this equipment's out there and not utilized. Even have a trial basis where you can try it, and if you don't like it, and you won't get charged for it. That's how much they believe in their equipment. And
if they tell me they don't have the funds, I'm gonna tell them they can take it from Monkey Island, Morgan Island. That's where they got $1.6 million. They can afford one of these systems for Horry County. They better get busy in their research group involved in exporting illegal monkeys from Cambodia, or harvesting the horseshoe crabs for their medicine and disrupting the ecosystem, and that lawsuit, or how the monkeys escape. And then this is ridiculous. The law enforcement is their landlord. Listen, let's say that I'm a landlord and the people that I let rent my house are spray painting the walls and they're on drugs and they're tearing up everything and they're playing loud music and disturbing all my neighbors who are complaining and causing a threat to the neighborhood. Now, do you think that because they're paying me $1.6 million, I'm going to let them live there? Well, first of all, they wouldn't be paying me that much to rent my house, but you get the principle, right? I mean, it doesn't make, but see, that's why they're doing it, because it's the compensation. They can't let that go, y'all. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And two wrongs don't make a right.
It's about morals. Do the right thing. Do what you were put in office to protect the people and serve the people. It's for the people, by the people. Our founding fathers put this in our Constitution for a reason. Live by these ethics.
She had an issue with her breaker box. Apparently, that's why AJ's not back, Mama Bear said. And she's calling maintenance. Oh my goodness, it's going to catch on fire. Y'all pray for AJ. Don't catch the house on fire. She was having problems with all kinds of stuff earlier this week. It's been a week. The CME is coming off the sun. The space weather is real, y'all. I'm telling you, when your Wi-Fi starts doing something funky, think of Dutchie. Tell her Dutchie told you. I'm gonna teach y'all something today. Hey, and don't forget about our Halloween party on the backup channel tomorrow night at 8:00. God willing, with the internet, because who knows. Deborah, yes, if they had a diver but wouldn't use that resource. That's exactly right. See, and that was the other thing that I wanted to ask you about, Brad. There is this thing my friend told me to look up about the United Nations, and to go to United Nations Human Rights. So I went to that website today, and she told me about this General Assembly resolution, and I need to share my screen because I want everybody else to see this, because I'd like to just, get y'all's thoughts on this too. You know what? When evil entered, we are in that process. It is happening. We haven't got anything yet, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I have it. Can that equipment be used to find Tyler, or is it too late? Michelle Macklin wants to know. That's my mod.
Unfortunately, with the time that has passed, just with the weather, and just the whole decomposition of bodies, stuff like that.
Thank you, Mama.
It's been way too long.
Okay. Thank you, Mama Bear, for letting me know. And thank you, Brad, for confirming that. That's what I thought, but I would rather it come from you. because we have discussed that. I've had other people ask me if we should get search dogs out there. Should we try to get divers in the water? Should we try to get, and I said, well, I've spoke to Brad about this at length. And, it's very unlikely that there could be anything recovered at this point. Like, there's a window. There's a window of opportunity, and that opportunity wasn't capitalized on when it needed to be, because chain of custody, chain of command, all of the things that came down from the head investigator. Brad's not responsible for that. He didn't have any choice, guys. And y'all know that because Ronnie told you, right?
Told we are not allowed to dive on any targets or do any of the recovery. And what people have to understand is we're still just citizens. We have to follow the law. We have to obey the law. So if an officer tells us, that we're not allowed to do something, we're not allowed to do it. It's still an investigation. We're just a tool that's utilized by the public sector.
Winter Gregson said there's a show on Paramount Plus called Never Seen Again about missing people. I think Tyler's family should try to get his story out there to help them find him. It's a really good show. I wish they would. I don't know how you submit your story, but send me some information if you do find out anything on Facebook, or you can email me, Winter, because that's very interesting, because his story does need to be heard. Because, what happens to people that law enforcement doesn't look for, which, brought me back to that United Nations article that my friend told me about. So you guys can see that, right? This code of conduct for law enforcement officials. And this was actually adopted by the United Nations in 1979. Okay, so this is not like it just got adopted 6 months ago, right? And it just goes through these different articles. And it just talks about, like, and I guess, when it's the United Nations, I'm thinking, well, I mean, that's got to be like in general, like human rights laws, things like that. I mean, wouldn't you think? I mean, that gives you a general consensus, like, no law enforcement official should inflict, instigate, or tolerate any act of torture, cruel. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like, I expect that from just general human beings, but I definitely expect it from law enforcement. And then it talks about, like, law enforcement officials should ensure the full protection of health of persons in their custody. Of course we do. And you see what happens when that doesn't happen. But then it goes on to Article 7, and I thought it was very interesting. Law enforcement officials shall not commit any act of corruption. They shall also rigorously oppose and combat all such acts. And, well, I don't know if that's happening right now, but it was really interesting because when I got to reading this, it made me it caused me to actually hit on another search for something else. And I think I've got it pulled up here. It wasn't this one. Let me find it on here. When it started letting me pull up these different searches, the first thing that it came up was it pulled up about police diving. Because when I started, researching that about, what if law enforcement doesn't search for missing people in the water? Like, I was trying to see how many articles that I could gather that were similar to, like, Tyler's situation. Like, how many people have made complaints about law enforcement not so. But when you Google that, like, it's a lot of things that come up aren't necessarily related to what you're searching. So, but one of the things that came up was police diving includes forensic diving. And I think that was one of the issues that we were having, was that you were telling us about TJ's master diving skills versus, like, what is the diving credentials of people that are on the South Carolina DNR Marine dive team, right?
Yep.
Because it does say here that when you're a police diving, if you're a forensic diver for the police, they recover the evidence from underwater. And they may have submerged body recoveries, anti-narcotics operations like inspecting ship hulls, anti-terrorism operations, search and rescue operations, other maritime law enforcement. Well, that would be DNR.
Yep.
So I want to know like what his certification is. Like, I feel like that I'm going to need more information, but as I continue to read, it got more interesting. See, it talks, because if Ronnie Floyd was there, why didn't he go down? Because that was one of the questions, that we had. And as I continued to read this article, it says, it got to a couple of interesting points, and I wanted to ask you about it. It says, it talked about underwater recovery efforts may include the use of trained dogs and that can detect human remains underwater at depths as great as 150 meters, that's 490 feet, in ideal conditions. And then the qualifications and training for forensic divers are additional to departmental physical and psychological requirements. And that training may include instruction in stress management, media relations, and teamwork. And then it goes on to talk about like submerged evidence can have similar forensic value to evidence found above the water. Items recovered from immersion have been used as evidence in many cases where they have provided identifiable blood traces, fingerprints, hair and fibers, and other trace evidence. And, I just thought that was really interesting, because that's different than just getting your dive certificate in the swimming pool, Brad.
Oh yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, there's classes that you take, and the real world scenarios they put you in of like finding evidence. It's not in a swimming pool. I mean, they put you out in a lake, they put you out in a river, and put you through the paces, and they'll throw a gun out in the middle of the river, and you got to find it, you got to grid it, you got to collect the evidence, take photographs underwater. I mean, it's such techniques and training that goes into this. It's not just your PADI certification to go scuba diving.
So how was he going to be in charge of the recovery if y'all have more qualifications than him? Because I watched another video today on another search and rescue team that's a husband and wife. They're older. And they actually use the torpedo also. That's how I discovered them. And they actually sell it at a discount to other search and rescue people or people that want one, because they feel like that people in towns that can't afford it, like they help them to get one, which I thought was really incredible. And they talked about, that's the reason that they had to be called in, because law enforcement agencies where they were being called, either they didn't want to help the family, and it was just this problematic situation all the time, and people were like, we can't get any help, we need you to come out. And so I guess when they retired, that's what they started doing, started searching for cars and stuff like that. There was a video that I wanted to play, and I know you're not going to be able to see it, but if you want me to send you the link to the live stream and you want to go back and watch it, you're more than welcome to, but you're going to be able to hear it. This was a video that I found, and of course, I know you guys are not going to like it, that it's Jared Lasik from Adventures with Purpose. Okay, because I know everybody has his little thoughts and fifis about what he's done. And listen, this is not about that. We can all, I used to support them, and I do watch Doug and his underwater recoveries and stuff like that.
So this is what I'll say about Jared. You got to look at what he's done for families that don't look answers without him. He's done a lot of good in this life.
Regardless of what his personal decision is, that I think is he's heinous. He has helped a lot of families. But this particular video, it's not about that it's him. So I want you guys to please remove that from your mind. Okay, but he has a little moment with law enforcement. And Brad, I need you to hear this video because I just wonder if you've ever found yourself in this situation. And that's why, even though you can't see the video, just listening to the back and forth, I just want to know if you've ever been in this situation before. So once you wait till you hear it, and I'm going to play it here in just a second. Let me get to it. Gotta get down to my videos. It's just a short clip, but it's I think it's an important interaction because this is a similar situation to what I feel like happens in a lot of cases, like Tyler's. Like you get these families where you could have dove on a case, but they didn't. And the family wants to know, well, why didn't they do that sooner? You know, they want answers, but law enforcement isn't willing to do the work. So this is a very good example of that situation. So I'm going to play that video now.
They took the boat out 5 minutes. They had it. They dropped the buoy. They come back in. They suited up. Give me enough time to run down, get Billy and Shayna, stop by your house. By the time I got back down here, they were ready. They were carrying gear ready to go in the water. And it just irritates me because we've been begging them. I begged them from the day he went missing to check this river. We could have had answers immediately. 1 second, we have to wait. Yeah.
If we have any suspicion, I'll pop the window real quick. If we would just want to answer that question right now. So we cannot play. So we cannot play the game of he's not in there. Okay, because this is starting to upset me at this point. This is upsetting the family. Don't play the game. Don't say he's not in there, and don't give us the runaround at this point.
I never said he wasn't in there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because my emotions are going to start getting high as a father. I'm sorry if I'm letting my emotions get over me. I just want to make sure that we can take care of this for the family right away.
Well,
this,
what
we have done more than you have, not as far as this, but body recoveries and dealing with floating cars, moving cars, getting cars out of the water. We have done more than almost anybody across the U.S.
EMS is going to make the determination if they want to use you.
100%.
Okay.
But that car needs to come out.
Oh, it's going to come out.
Yeah. So okay.
And but EMS. Yeah. Technically, it's an EMS thing. There's a car in the water, so they're making the determination.
Excellent. We're here to work with all of you on that one. So,
no problem.
Thank you. Sorry for my flare-up.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Was he talking like it wasn't happening? Yeah, he tried to say. He was like, he's probably not in the car. He's in Georgia with his girlfriend.
Did y'all catch that? The cop tried to say the boy wasn't in the water. He was in Georgia with his girlfriend, and that's why they didn't want to search the water. And you had to listen to Jerry get all over his hind end because they didn't do their job. Who does that sound like, y'all? Put a 1 in the chat if you know exactly who that sounded like. That made me so angry. Brad, have you ever been in a situation where you've had to face up against law enforcement that didn't want to do whatever besides the situation? No.
No, honestly, I guess I've been blessed and lucky where when we get called in, usually it's turned over to us right away, and we work side to side with law enforcement, DNR, FBI, and everything. We'll secure the target and have them come in and do their investigation and stuff like that. So I've been pretty lucky in where I'm not one of that. I know other search and rescue groups that have. I mean, I've heard scary things where they've found people and know that they're right there, and if they go in, they're going to get arrested. I'm trying to think, Chaos Divers. They just had a case last year in the same situation where I think it was in Atlanta or something, but they knew the car was there. The victim's car was there, and they were told if they went down and removed a license plate or anything like that, they were going to go to jail. Lindsay and them,
what?
Had to listen. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, so rather than getting the information and giving closure to the family, they're going to arrest Chaos Divers. See, this is not good, Brad. This is problematic. How are you guys supposed to help people if you're being hindered?
The problem is a lot of times, we got our hands tied and aren't able to do, we got to follow these strict guidelines and rules. And a lot of times we're going into a gunfight with a knife, and we look at the fact that, we just want to help these families, and we're hindered and everything, but any possibility to give these families answers is worth it.
I think everybody in the chat, does everybody here have a clear understanding of why we have the Facebook group, of why we have the website, why we have the petition, why we have these live streams? Because none of this makes any sense. This case was not handled appropriately, in my opinion. And I can't imagine that a higher agency can look at this and be like, oh, yeah, he did everything to the letter. Remember the code of ethics? And I saw Deborah say that, well, every state has a code of ethics, as they should. But do they just toss them to the side and be like, oh, yeah, we'll just make this for the website, to comfort people? No, I don't think that's really what it was written for. And it's sad that there's the few people that can, and I believe that's, that was on this particular, which I know, Brad, you can't see it, but this is a screenshot that I had taken that I was reading from, that basically stated, this is why, on the, I guess it was the, let me find it on the code of ethics here. Let me look here. About reporting the behavior to the appropriate supervisor. Because if you just let people not be accountable for their actions or their inactions, then that little blemish becomes a little sore. And when you keep picking at that sore, it becomes like a little blister. And then that blister becomes a wound. And before long, you're going to lose your leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to grow and grow and grow. And then it just becomes the natural order of things. And that's not what we can't let that happen. Like, we have to stand up for what is just and for what is right, especially when you're a tax-paying citizen. Because I want to know that my family and my neighbors, if we ever have an emergency, that somebody's going to do the right thing. If I ever need Brad's help, I want to know that when I call him, that somebody is not going to come, not allow him to come, or that if he does come, that he's going to be like, well, you can't do this and you can't do that. And even though your training is more than ours and you have better sonar and you have better this, you can only do this, this, and this. They were nice enough to come all the way from Wisconsin to South Carolina to help this family. And the family doesn't get the say. Ronnie Floyd gets the say. When that missing boater in Georgetown County, Brad, there was a boating accident, and there was a boater that went missing from Loris down in Georgetown County on the PD River. And guess what district that is? It's District 4. You know who's over that district, same district that's here. And that's his case. And that boater was found deceased. But you know who recovered it? It was the Horry County Fire and Rescue dive team. It wasn't the DNR dive team. I wonder why. Maybe they just couldn't make it in time. Maybe the water wasn't exactly like it needed to be for them to get in there to get him. Maybe they were too busy. Who even knows if he was there at the scene, because he might have been on vacation or who knows. I just found it weird that this case was in Georgetown County, but Horry County Fire and Rescue divers were the ones that went down there. So I have to assume if anybody else was going to go in the water, and would have dove to look for Tyler, it would have had to been Horry County Fire and Rescue, because I haven't seen hide nor hair of a South Carolina DNR dive team yet.
Do they even have one?
Supposedly they're supposed to. I do not know who they are. I would love to know who they are. If you're listening to this live stream and you are a South Carolina DNR officer and you are on the dive team, please reach out to me at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com and let me know. I'd like to interview you. You can be from anywhere in South Carolina. You don't have to be in District 4. I just want to know what it takes to be on the dive team for South Carolina DNR. I just have some general questions. Because I don't think that just because you're a DNR officer that every officer is going to have a master diver certificate to recover forensically a body and obtain evidence, all of that. Like, I want to see the credentials. Brad, they made you show your credentials, right? You had to show all your credentials and your insurance and probably your birth certificate, your social security card, your passport. I mean, your funeral. I mean, yeah. I mean, you probably had to give your life insurance policy. But I haven't seen hide nor hair out of anything that amounts to a hill of beans that tells me that somebody that is extremely qualified and knows what they're doing is in charge here. And y'all are going to have to excuse me. My Doberman was sick all weekend. She ate something and she's been throwing up, and she's laying here beside me, y'all, and she hasn't eaten. She's still not feeling good. I'm going to take her to the vet tomorrow. So I have not slept and I am on edge, and this whole thing just makes me irritated. So if I'm sorry if I seem irritated, because normally I try to be real soft-spoken. But tonight I'm feeling extra spicy about this.
Never, my granddaddy always said, never apologize for what's right. And you know what? You're right, and you're doing the right things, and you're just asking the questions that need to be answered that everyone wants to know.
New Start Homestead's in the chat. Miss Marie, hey, thank you so much for being here. If you want to come up on panel, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you a link. She says, I want to know why they didn't let Horry County dive team dive for Tyler that day. Well, a little bird allegedly, there was someone that dived. Now, listen, when I got the FOIA, the original FOIA I got was in March. I did not get anything on my FOIA, guys, on the original FOIA from March, which is right when they were releasing the FOIA. Like, I waited and waited and waited for that thing, and I didn't get it till March, but I had FOIA'd like back in February. I did not get one piece of information that said that anybody dove. But I was told that there was an addendum to another FOIA that somebody got later on that showed that there was somebody that dove, and that they dove 2 times, according to the report. And I don't have that. They were going to send it to me, and I'm going to have to go check my messages, but I don't think I got it. No, I didn't get it there. I'm going to my email. Let me double check my email. Y'all bear with me, because Dutchie is so behind. By the way, thank you, Gimme the Seaweed, for all of your work in sending me all of those wonderful guys. She sent me these Tyler's call logs and things like that, and I just want to say thank you. We're going to review those so that we can show those on a live stream. I just saw that again in my email. I'm looking and I don't see that she ever sent it to me, because I would really like to have a copy of that. If you have the FOIA where it talks about the diver that went in to look for Tyler, please send that to me at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com, please, because I need to see that. Because I did talk to Horry County Fire and Rescue and their Marine dive team, Brad. was out here on Friday because there was a gentleman and his wife that was backing in their very, very nice boat into the boat landing on Friday morning. And apparently the boat went off of the trailer sideways and it began to float out into the waterway. And the gentleman panicked. I did do a live stream on it. It is on my channel if you want to go back and look at it. So my neighbor told me they were out there. So I got my clothes on and ran out there and went live. And there was about 5 fire trucks, Horry County Fire and Rescue, Boat 88. All the main players were out there. And I watched the Marine team with Horry County Fire and Rescue. I watched them get suited up and go in the water and have to hook that truck. Because let me tell you that he jumped out of the truck. I don't know what the heck his wife was doing. She was probably on her phone like she was during the entire time that I was out there. But I don't know. I would have been out there with the rope, you know, to hold the boat next to the dock as he drove the, you know, back the trailer in. I don't know what she was doing, but he jumped out of the truck and didn't put the truck in park. And this brand new Ford truck and trailer went all the way submerged in the waterway. And listen, Michelle was in my chat. You could not even see that truck. All you could see was this one antenna. This one pole. And I kept saying, look at this pole. That's all you can see. And those divers got in and they hooked that thing up, and Gauls Towing came out there and pulled that thing up, and they opened them doors. Water was, I mean, y'all, it ruined that truck. It was terrible. And it was a Ford. You know, and bless it, you know, I mean, it's totaled. The boat's fine, y'all. He got the boat. Oh, the boat's fine. That's all he cared about. He didn't care about that truck now. He was all about that boat. He went out there and jumped in the boat, jumped into water and got in the boat. He didn't care about that truck and trailer. No, it was gone. It was crazy. So they told me, I talked to Swinney. He's one of the guys that went out there to search for Tyler. And I never did get to ask him if this Marine team was the actual divers that went out there to search for Tyler. And he said he wasn't on the Marine team, so he couldn't comment on that. I'd have to ask them, but I never got the opportunity to actually speak with them. I thought about riding down there just to ask them for myself. Do you know anything about this other dive?
No.
I thought you had told me that you did not know about it. So I just wanted to make sure, because I thought that was really interesting. So I'm hoping that, you know, maybe they'll tell me, or that somebody will see that addendum to the newest FOIA. I guess there's a page on there that talks about there being 2 dives before Brad ever came down. All right, I'm going back up here in chat real quick. Thank y'all for praying for Petra. Thank you, Allie. She's such a sweet baby. Thank you, Gigi, for being a member for 2 months. Cam Shab, thank you so much for your $10 super sticker. You are such a valued member. I appreciate you so very much. And y'all thank Brad for being here. I always appreciate it when he calls in, because he always gives us such great information. Like, we learned a lot tonight, Brad.
I mean, information's a good tool to have, especially in search and rescue.
Is there anything that you want to share with us that you think that we really need to have an understanding about? You know, we were looking at Google Earth. I wish that you were at home so you could get on your laptop and see this, but I'm going to share my screen. That's why I really want you to be here, because I want you to see it too. I'm going to pull up my Google Earth. We were talking about this in the Facebook group, and I don't know if you're still over there, but somebody shared these Google Earth pictures of right outside the jetty, and you can see that it looks like there's a couple of boats down. One is like right at the very corner of the jetty, like right at the very tip. And then you can see that there's another. I think they were just wanting to know that these were not in the areas that the dogs hit. And I said, well, you know, Brad said that the shrimp boat, I know that that sank in 1960. I know you did say that that was not in the area of where the dogs hit. Is that correct?
No. Right. No, where the dogs hit was much more north of Earth's photo on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sharing it now.
So where dogs were indicating where a interest in was actually more north of that area and farther out. Some people are asking about, would the dogs hit on remains or stuff like that? All the people that were in that shrimp boat were saved and survived. So there was no, things like that. As long as it's been many years, any remains like that would have done decomposed enough and washed away. There wouldn't have been any residual.
Wow. Y'all hang on. I just heard from AJ. She's trying to charge her phone in her car. All her lights are out, y'all. Y'all pray for her. He cannot catch a break.
There's so much lately.
Listen, the devil is for real. The devil's alive. Don't make me sing that song. Oh, my sister just sent me that somebody's got Doberman puppies for sale. Y'all, squirrel. Y'all don't text me crazy stuff when I'm live, because then I'll get distracted about puppies. Okay, I just start opening stuff when I get on my phone. Okay, let me get back over here. I'm going to have to go look at them puppies, though. Okay, so look at this. Here I'm looking, and you can't see this, but I'm looking at the Google Earth picture of the jetty, and I know you know exactly what that looks like, Brad. If we go down over the North Jetty, I did see somebody pointed out that there was something right here. Let me see if it'll focus in. Ah, yeah, there it is. You got something down. Well, there's actually two things. You guys see that? There's actually two vessels off the very tip of the jetty. And that doesn't surprise me, because that is a very dangerous area. Why do you think those boats are down there?
People like to fish there for some reason. I know when we were there was quite a few fishermen out there fishing.
There's a lot of fish that are in that. As soon as you come in, you see where the water changes, guys. See how it's really brown right in that one area when you're coming in through the jetty. That's because the changing of the water is because of the silt. That water through there is constantly being churned, because the boats are constantly going through there. But when you've got these watercraft and things that are down here, they make these small reefs. And a lot of those fish like to come around those areas. And I've seen some amazing catches that my neighbors that have, big boats, they go out and fish. We've eaten some good fish. I love king mackerel. That's my favorite. It's excellent. And that's why fishing, it's really good, especially right here in the opening, like in this little open area right here. Let me get my icon right here. That's where you'll see the boats kind of circling right in this area, right in Bird Island, and then just out in this area on the outside. So, but I think it's really interesting that you can see these boats. Now I have to get over here to the chat on my phone because I can't see my chat. Hey, babe. Checking on the puppy. She probably needs to go outside. Hey, Matthew. Thank you for being here. Wait, use mackerel for bait? Well, I mean, maybe Spanish mackerel. Spanish mackerel's not bad as long as you make sure they don't have worms. They tend to have a lot of worms in them. And that's why I don't like them. But I like the king mackerel. It's really clean. Good white meat. You like perch, Matthew? But here is that area, guys, right here. And let me just show you. And and I'm guesstimating, Brad, because I know I've got the picture. I don't have it uploaded, but I'm going to take my icon. If you guys can look at the screen, this is the area starting about right here, I think. Let's see. And did you say it was up in front of the beach area? Or was it just on the outside of the jetty area?
For
where the dogs hit and the sonar picture.
So it was on the north side of the jetty on the ocean side. So a couple hundred yards offshore. And we had pictures of the strip boat and everything. I think someone commented on them once and asked if what the picture was, and we actually had some on our pictures of the strip boat. And our image and your dogs hit and everything was.
And the boat that I'm looking at is pretty close to. It's not on the beach. Well, it is just off the.
Kind of talking that cove area.
Yeah, it's like right where the rocks are just getting ready to merge onto the beach, and it's not too far off from shore.
Right.
This boat that I'm looking at, is that the shrimp boat? Is that it?
I believe that's the only one that we've seen.
Okay, and that is not where the dogs hit.
Not close.
Okay, and it looks like Donna Blackman asked, would they be able to use one of those instruments you said to find Tyler? And of course, you said no. That recovery at this point with one of the devices that we showed tonight, you did state you did not think that would be a possibility.
No.
Okay.
At this point, most time has elapsed. It just wouldn't be plausible.
Okay, and then she also says, is there any chance that he could be trapped inside a hole or something in the ocean somewhere?
I can't speculate on any of that. I can only tell you from the information that we have is that he was in the water. It's highly unlikely, especially from where our dogs were hitting, and it was a moving the information of where the dogs were hitting. You can see the dogs were actually moving further north as we went.
Okay. Well, there you have it. I just wanted to make sure because I had some people, saying they found this image on Google Earth, and I just wanted you to clarify that.
Yep.
So is there anything else you can think of? Let me go over here to the chat, see if there's any other questions that I might have missed. Michelle says Ted Cruz would be another one to take Ronnie Floyd to task. Yep, that is for sure. Lisa Blake says, I was wondering if anyone knew what kind of relationship Tyler had with his family. Well, Lisa, I'm friends with the family, and I can tell you it was a very good one. And if you want to know what that relationship looks like, you can go back and watch all of my other live streams because we've had the family on my panel before.
And I can tell you from a stranger looking in, everything is, this family was loved. Tyler was very much loved. Just a great, loving family. No stranger. Just a great man. I didn't get the pleasure to ever meet him, but just the stories from other people were just remarkable. I mean, this man had good shoulders, was very responsible, and his family loved him. That family was out there. It didn't matter, rain, wind, whatever. They were out there every day, from sun up to sundown. So Tyler was very, very loved. He loved his family very much.
Deborah Edge says, I'm sure Ronnie Floyd couldn't dive because he wasn't medically fit with the kidney stones, etc. But I'm sure they had one or two that could. Deborah, he said that he, I'm assuming that he called and talked to them, to let them know what that was going to look like if there was such a team. So if he told Brad, which Brad, you did say that Ronnie Floyd had told you that was going to call them to come out, and that you waited, and
we were told from the get-go that we would have available to us there, and that never happened. Never had full their diet team. So I don't even know what their diet team looked like, or that's why I was asking, like, do they even have one, or what are their qualifications? Because we've never seen their diet team. So I don't know, what that consists of. If it's Scuba Steve and his friend, SpongeBob, but we never see him.
Yeah. And it's weird that you are over an investigation. If you know that people are coming to search and you need to have somebody, there's a potential recovery that could take place. Why would you not have those people on standby? There's protocols that you have to put into place. If you're the lead investigator, you're responsible for writing all of that up, for making those calls, for setting everything up. I figure if you have that many years experience, then, I know this can't be the first missing persons case, but I thought it was very interesting that, there's been other cases that I looked up where, people, the law enforcement agencies have made an assumption about what happened, as we heard in the video. And if you guys are just coming in, I do want to play that video just one more time, because I just feel like one time is not enough, because this tells me right here that Tyler's case is not the only case that this is happening in.
They took the boat out 5 minutes. They had it. They dropped the buoy. They come back in. They suited up. Give me enough time to run down, get Billy and Shayna, stop by your house. By the time I got back down here, they were ready. They were carrying gear ready to go in the water. And it just irritates me because we've been begging them. I begged them from the day he went missing to check this river. We could have had answers immediately.
1 second, why do we have to wait?
Yeah.
If we have any suspicion, I'll pop the window real quick. If we would just want to answer that question right now.
No.
So we cannot play. So we cannot play the game of he's not in there, okay? Because this is starting to upset me at this point. This is upsetting the family. Don't play the game. Don't say he's not in there, and don't give us the runaround at this point.
I never said he wasn't in there.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because my emotions are going to start getting high as a father. I'm sorry if I'm letting my emotions get over me. I just want to make sure that we can take care of this for the family right away.
Well, what we done?
We have done more than you have, not as far as this, but body recoveries and dealing with floating cars, moving cars, getting cars out of the water. We have done more than almost anybody across the U.S.
EMS is going to make the determination if they want to use you.
100%.
Okay.
But that car needs to come out.
Oh, it's going to come out.
Yeah. So okay.
But EMS. Yeah. Technically, it's an EMS thing. There's a car in the water, so they're making the determination.
Excellent. We're here to work with all of you on that one. So,
no problem.
Thank you. Sorry for my flare-up.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Was he talking like it wasn't happening?
Yeah, he tried to say. He was like, he's probably not in the car. He's in Georgia with his girlfriend.
Wow. It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is definitely not isolated incident. I mean, it happens all over, stuff like that. It's sad.
Yeah.
Why hinder the people that are there to help you bring answers? And I just don't get it.
I don't either, Brad. But thank you so much for calling in and speaking to us. I appreciate you so very much. I'm going to let you go because I know it's getting late and you got to take care of your family. But, come back and join us in chat sometime whenever, if you have a chance. We'll be live next Sunday night if you're free. Come on by and join us.
I appreciate it, Ms. Dushes. Tell you, Jay, that I said hi, and I appreciate all you guys do, and you take care.
Okay. You too, Brad. Thank you so much. Okay. Yep. All right. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Margaret, so Lisa Blake, you were asking about that. They think you were asking about the family or Tyler's relation, what their relationship was like with Lakeland's family. I can't speak to that. On previous live streams, the family has spoken whatever they're willing to say about it. And I would prefer you to go review that whenever Shay has been on panel. Brian's only been up just a very select few times, maybe just a couple of times for a very short period of time. It's very difficult for him to come up and talk about Tyler. He gets very emotional. So it's just very difficult for him. So he just doesn't come up. And I appreciate your question. I can't really speak to whether, what Tyler's relationship was like with Lakeland's family. I don't like to, speak to what someone else, what the real facts are. I would rather it come from the family. And I appreciate you understanding that. So if you do want to go back and watch other live streams, what is it, baby? Are you okay? You need your blanket? There you go. That's just what I would refer you to, Lisa. And I appreciate you asking. And you can find all of those live streams on the Tyler Doyle playlist. And since you're a member, then you have access to all of the membership videos as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can always email me at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com, and I'm on Facebook. So I do hope that some of this was informative and that some of this was eye-opening, because there's a lot of people that are behind in this case, and they're still working through the live streams and going through the documents in the Facebook group. And I encourage you, if you have not seen the live streams, especially the ones with the family, you should watch those. But you need to kind of watch them in a progression, because as the information changes and as we get more information, things are always evolving, and we're getting more information that we need to put out. But don't forget about those old live streams. There's some very important phone calls and things that came from Shay, some very important videos that we've reviewed. Because we're just trying to get to the bottom and get to the truth. Because missing people don't have a voice. So we're trying to be a voice for the voiceless, for the people who don't have anybody to stand up for them. We're not going to let this case just be swept under the rug. Like if it happened just as you say that it did, then show your cards. Prove that everything that needed to be done was followed to the letter. Every T crossed, every I dotted, that everything that could have been done respectfully, with integrity, and to the best of your ability was performed, that all evidence was obtained and secured properly. Show me. Show the world. Show the family. That's all we're asking. No update, Crystal, because I've been going in circles. I have emailed all 3 people to say that I'm being sent in circles, and I still have not heard a response from all 3 places. And that is why I have not commented on that, because I don't have anything to comment because I'm not getting a response. So as soon as I get a response, I promise I will let you know. I will let you know. I find it laughable, which is why I'm laughing, because maybe they just don't want us to protest. I don't know. And I'm not there to be unruly and rude and disrespectful. I'm just there because I want them to see Tyler's face. I was and I'm going to share a story. And I'm not going to say who it's with, but if the person's in the chat wants to say it's them, it's okay. This person reached out to me because she's been helping, I sent her a picture of my puppy dog because my puppy dog she's been so sick, and I sent her a picture of her resting in my bed. And the person texted me back and said, I noticed that on the dresser behind you, under your TV, you have Tyler's poster sitting there, and I said, well, that's so that when I wake up every morning, I see Tyler's face, and it reminds me to thank God that I live for another day. And I give him the glory that I'm here to help fight for justice for Tyler. And when I get up in the morning, that's the first thing I see besides my husband. So I just ask God to give me the strength and the grace and the ability to be able to get out the factual information and to be able to share my feelings and thoughts about why this case is important, and give people something to really think about when it comes to this tragedy that's happened to the Doyle family, of not getting the answers that they feel like that they deserved and that they could have gotten had it not been for things that occurred in this case. Well, supposedly you can, Crystal, but we would prefer to have a permit from the city in case there's an instance where they try to remove us because we don't have a permit. And that happens in South Carolina. Yeah, it happens all across the United States. That's why they have something. So if we organize something where a lot of people travel from a long way, and then we get there and then they want to know why we didn't have a permit, and then it's 10 days waiting period or something. Like, I see what they're doing, but I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to organize anything until I have all of the factual information, because I don't want to put anybody in a compromised situation because the county there or the government, for whatever reason, doesn't want to issue me the proper paperwork. But I appreciate you. Thank you, Dragon. I appreciate you. That's exactly right. Gigi, thank you so much, darling. I really appreciate your super sticker, and thank you for being a valued member. I really appreciate you. Well, I mean, it would fall under the First Amendment, but it's also part of the protocol. They ask for that if you're going to peacefully assemble with more than 25 people, that you have a permit. And I'm going to have way more than 25 people. So they're definitely going to need a permit, because there could be hundreds of us. So they're going to want a permit. And that's why it needs to come from the police department. And so that's who I'm hoping is going to contact me back. And since I haven't heard anything, I do have to take care of my dog tomorrow. I have to take her to the vet. And then we have our Halloween party on my backup channel at 8 p.m. If you guys want to join us over there, bring your costumes. If you want to come up and share your costume for the costume contest, please do. After that, I'm going to be making phone calls and sending emails and collecting my data. I've got to reach out to some other places to get information and make a few phone calls. And that's what I'm going to be doing from Tuesday to Friday. And hopefully by the time we see each other next Sunday, maybe I'll have some answers about that. Yeah, I believe that, Carla. And thank you so much for joining us from Pensacola, Florida. My uncle, who is a retired Marine, he lives in Pensacola. So it's so beautiful there. Such a beautiful place. So I really appreciate you joining us. And I'm so very sorry for the missing person situation that you spoke about in chat earlier. I wasn't able to comment at the time when you shared that, but I wanted to thank you for being here, Carla. I certainly will, Camshaft. I think she was not feeling well today. So if you guys could just keep Shay in your prayers, and Brian and Miss Linda, Mr. Ricky and Reed. Keep the entire family in your prayers. They really need it. It's been, and AJ as well. It's It's been a lot going on lately. There's going to be a lot of waiting time. You know, it takes time sometimes. You know, just because you don't hear anything or things aren't moving doesn't mean that things aren't happening. So I don't want you guys to get discouraged if you don't see, you know, because listen, we had a lot of information unfolding like all at once. So we had a lot to unravel and talk about, which is why those previous live streams are so valuable. There is a lot of information. And yes, even on the 5-hour live streams, that I know is so long. Listen, just put your headphones on when you're cleaning or whatever you're doing, you know, and just listen to it in sections if you have to. But it's really valuable information and it'll save you from having to ask, because when you hear how much information it is, you'll understand that there's no way I could give you the Cliff Notes, because there really isn't a Cliff Note version for this story. Because a lot of it, you just have to hear it for yourself, you know. Yeah, you need a permit in Knoxville too. It's the over 25 people. That's the kicker, and that's the state law in South Carolina. If you want to protest and you have a group of 25 or more people, you will need a permit. So we could go in shifts of 24 hours every day. Well, that would be possible, but we probably have people that may want to come from out of state. So we'd like to be able to unify all together at one time, because I think that would really get their attention, you know. But we're going to talk about it, you know. It's a you know, still in action kind of thing that's ongoing. And we're still working on the t-shirts. You guys just got to give me time. I wish I was an octopus and I had eight brains to go with 8 arms, but I don't. And AJ's doing so much also. And we appreciate, I want to give a shout out to all of the admins and mods in the Discovering the Truth Facebook for Tyler Doyle. You guys are doing such an amazing job. And I want to give a shout out to Shayla, who just got married. Congratulations if you're listening to this live stream. They work so hard to keep all the stuff going over there in the group, and we really appreciate you. Michelle, remind me to go to Nightbot and take down the TD1 petitions, and as soon as we get another petition going, guys, I will share that on the live. I will share it on Facebook. We'll share it in the group. We'll share it on Clear Truth. And let you know where you can sign. And if you want to take your name off of the previous petition that was taken down, I don't know how that would work, because the petition has been officially removed. You would likely have to refer to the owner of that petition and the name of the petition. You could use the link to that petition possibly in your email and state that you would like to know if you can remove your name from this closed petition, or how does that work? And I'm sure that they would be willing to offer you an answer. And if you get one, how about sending me a copy of that? Because I would like to show it on the live stream, and I'll give you credit for it, because I would like to know what the answer to that is. If you have a closed petition, can you still remove your name? What is the protocol with that? That's how you get answers. Sometimes you just got to ask the hard questions. Oh, Christine, you're such a sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, Halloween Party, Dutch 2.0. Do you have my link to my channel? If you want to drop it in here, people can go over there and sub up. That would be really great if you guys are interested in coming by over there. Is there any other questions or anything that anyone has tonight? Oh, is that the live stream, Michelle, that you just dropped? Look, there she is. Look how beautiful she is, y'all. Congratulations, Shayla. I wish you all the love and blessings that your heart desires and that you deserve. And I pray the Lord will bless your unity with your husband. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. I appreciate it. If y'all want to come over there tomorrow night, let me know. But that's all I've got for this evening, y'all. And y'all pray for AJ, because I don't want her house to set on fire, y'all. That would be bad. I'm glad you had a wonderful day, Shayla. You deserve it. She said it was the best day ever. Thank y'all. Y'all going to make me cry again. And look, and she's here on this live stream, y'all. AJ's going to fuss at her. You're a sweetheart. Please tell your hubby that we're so grateful for all the hard work that you do over there in the group. We're thankful for all the admins and mods over there. And I appreciate all the mods and members here. We have some wonderful moderators. Allie is one of my new moderators, and she is doing an excellent job. Y'all give a shout out to Allie. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, that's the Halloween party. That's my backup channel. It will not be on this channel, guys. So if you come over here looking for the Halloween party, it's not there. There's a live stream already set up on my backup channel. That's where we do all the fun stuff to relieve our stress. Because these cases are stressful, but they're so important. And I like to keep, you know, that stuff separate from the cases. So I just got that channel off the ground, so that's why I'm sharing it with you guys here, in case you guys are interested in that. Sometimes we do ASMR bedtime stories. We do a whole bunch of different stuff. Arts, crafts. It's a surprise, guys. Like, who knows? Anything but true crime and missing cases. That's what we do over there. So I hope everybody has a wonderful night. I'm going to go and eat my dinner that the Duke made, because he is the chef, and I'm going to go enjoy that and check on AJ. Y'all just keep this family in your prayers. We're going to keep fighting for Tyler's justice. And remember, stay kind. I'll catch you guys on the next one next Sunday. If you enjoy true crime and missing cases, make sure you're subbed up to this channel and that you ring the notification bell, because there will be other cases that I'll be going live about on this channel besides Tyler. So if you're interested in those, make sure you're subbed up, and I'll see you on the next one. Mods, thank you. Members, thank you so much. Thank you to all the new members that joined tonight. I'm going to play my members video, and then I'm going to play us an outro to take us out of here. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. So take care. 38 strong. That's right, Misty.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are should take it slow.